Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, there we go. Awesome. It's like the right size, right? Okay, cool. So, sorry, what I was saying was the symptoms, emotions, events, limiting beliefs, and they start at the leaves. So you go from the leaves, those are the symptoms, and then you go down the emotions is the branches, and then the events is the trunk, and then the roots are the limiting beliefs. And as you can see, so the top, you're going to start at the top of the leaves, and these leaves represent your symptoms you may be experiencing at any given point. This can be anything from anxiety to chronic illness to self sabotage. So these are like usually the things that are most prominent in your awareness at the moment. So, like weight issues, depression, addiction, pain, all of those things that you really kind of feel on a regular basis. And then next, you're going to move down the tree, and these branches represent your emotions. So, what are the negative emotions that you experience regularly? This can be anger, fear, sadness, despair, rage, grief. And then you move a little bit further down and you have the events. So, this is like the trunk of your tree. You have these represent current or previous disturbing events that you experience, such as abuse, rape, being over or under disciplined, bullied, death of a loved one, divorce, and so on. Then you have your limiting beliefs. These are what root us into all of these other things that we just spoke about. And these are going to be your self limiting beliefs like, I'm not good enough, I can't do anything right, I'm not pretty enough, people like me can't do X, and so on. All of these things are interconnected with one affecting the other. So, this is why when someone releases like the emotion anger, however they release it, when they release anger, their back pain might go away. Or if they shift the limiting belief, they might experience less anxiety or depression. And okay, so that's kind of like the overview of this. Do you have any questions about that?
No, that's awesome. Definitely all of those
Okay,
limiting beliefs.
okay, cool. So that, um, so okay, awesome. Think about that. Okay, so during this call today, we're only going to focus on your self-limiting beliefs, and then for your soul work, I'm going to have you actually finish the rest of the tree on your own and bring it tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, and actually, I'm going to copy this and paste it in the chat so you have it, a copy of the tapping tree. That way you have it to look at. Did it go?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so identifying your self-limiting beliefs. So I'm going to give you just a couple minutes to think of 2 to 4 self-limiting beliefs that you have and just write them down and make sure that these are the ones that you feel strongest about that you feel hold you back the most.
Okay. I clicked the link and now the screen is gone. So
What
I'm
do
trying.
you
I see the tapping tree, but I don't see your shared screen. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I'm not great with. Okay.
That's okay. Are you on a laptop or on your
Yeah, I'm on the laptop. I see it, but it's just really tiny. I don't know why it did that.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, that's okay. I see. So the screen we're on is what are limiting beliefs?
Yeah,
Okay,
me
okay.
where yeah, identifying yeah, what are your limiting beliefs? Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it. It's just like a little thumbnail for some reason, but
Oh, okay.
something when I
Maybe
click.
if I do this,
Oh,
maybe
yeah. What'd
okay,
you
let
do?
me try that again. I just stopped sharing, and usually when like in other things that I've been in, when someone stops sharing, it like adjusts the whole thing back. So did it go back?
Yeah, fixed. Perfect.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so yeah, just keep that link. Oh, it's 11:11.
Yay.
Yay, we're right where we're supposed to be. Just keep that thumbnail and if or the link, I'll also post it in the group and I'll send it to you so you
Mm.
have it. Okay, so just spend like three. I was gonna play a song for you, but it wasn't working. So just spend like 3 or 4 minutes finding your most strongest limiting beliefs that you have about yourself.
I think like not being good enough is a big one, and like fear of being like my authentic self. I think that comes from, I'm not sure if you can see me, but fear, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you now.
Okay. Like even showing up on social media or like just saying like speaking my truth, sometimes I think there's a fear of being like abandoned. So those are like the big things that I definitely like hold me back in, and just being authentically me with unapologetically. And I know
Okay.
that it makes me want to like hide or not like, talk or
Okay.
even just like recluse. So I think that's really like not being good enough or not being what somebody wants me to be for like the fear of abandonment or rejection.
Okay. Okay. So does um if I'm my true self or if I'm authentically myself, I'll be abandoned. Does something like that work?
Yeah.
Okay. So write that down or a version of that that feels good to you. And then I think I'm not good enough. That's a good one. That it feels like, I mean, it's not totally specific, but I feel like that's a good one for this. And then do you feel like those are the major ones? Do you have another one that you'd like to do?
Those are definitely, I know rejection keeps coming up lately. Like I guess
Okay.
that's more tied to like self-worth, like worthy of like 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 worthy of good things or like healthy relationships.
Okay. Okay. So I'm not worthy of healthy relationships or
Um,
I'm not worthy of good things.
yeah, healthy relationships, I guess.
Okay.
Yee, these feel gross.
That's okay. That's okay. We're that's good for this part. It's good gross. Okay. Do you have another one that you want to add or are you good with those three?
Mm, let me think. I mean, I feel like I do feel like I'm a good coach, but I know
Hmm.
that deep down, like the worthiness and good enoughness of like me as a whole, I think what's coming up is like I can't be too much me in a way, like
Okay.
because I'm very like loud and I'm like very extreme, like I'm like super high and then super low. So, and like that's not acceptable or not okay. Like something's wrong with me if I'm like that. I don't
Okay.
know if
Okay.
those are not.
Yeah, let's go with something's wrong with me if I am who I am.
Okay.
Does that something's wrong with me? Or I mean, you could just put something's wrong with me.
Okay. If I'm like all of me, it's kind of more
Okay.
that.
Okay, yeah, put that. Put the one that feels truest to you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, so now we're going to go into a form of inquiry. Have you ever done self-inquiry or like the Sedona method or Byron Katie's anything of those? Okay, cool. All right.
Doesn't sound familiar.
So we're going to do a form of inquiry that was, I know she doesn't say she created it, but Byron Katie basically went through that. She's an, I guess, kind of a coach, but anyway, she went through like an awakening and she came up with these 4 questions. And it's called the work. And it's just a form of inquiry, asking questions, putting your beliefs up against these 4 questions. And it is life changing. It's really incredible. So I wanted to bring that into this masterclass because I think this is like the perfect spot for this. And what you're going to do is I'm going to take you through each statement that you wrote down, and we're going to ask the 4 questions. And what this is essentially doing is loosening up your subconscious hold, your subconscious's hold on your beliefs that you feel are absolute fact. And okay, so these are the 4 questions. So what we're going to do, since it's just me and you, we're going to go, and if you want to go ahead and write those down, that way you have them for later, because this is super powerful to put up against any don't like situation at all.
And
So
what's her
it's the
name? Byron Katie?
Byron Katie, yeah, Byron, and then Katie. And it's called The Work, which you can get all of the stuff online for free, like all of the exercises and all of that. But she also has a book called Loving What Is. Okay. Actually, I guess I could have just like copied and pasted it into the
Oh, that's okay.
thing. Let me know when you've got them.
Uh, I love seeing these. I've been working on my limiting beliefs big time, and like I know the like, is it true? And then after that I'm like, yes. I feel like it's not. It's just like it takes over you, you know?
Yeah, it definitely does.
Who or what is
When you're able to like she when I first started doing her stuff, the work, she would say things like the 4 questions are, or the work is alive in me now, or like the 4 questions are alive in me. And I always thought, like, what the fuck does that even mean? I don't get it. And that was just like totally, I was very much in my head about it. And now that I've been doing it for a while, what she meant was anytime you get into like a don't like situation, instead of running the gauntlet of like, fuck, I'm not good enough, this is terrible, that person looked at me wrong because of this, you actually go through, your brain automatically goes through these 4 questions. And you'll notice it as you start to do it, that like all of a sudden, is it true, will pop up. And like, can you actually know that it's true? I mean, it's really cool. So this is a really powerful form of questioning. So let's just go through the first one. Okay, so what's the first limiting belief that you have
the first
that
one
you
is
want to start?
not being good enough. And I think if I was to get more specific, like it feels more general and it's just like this I think it's like not being good enough. I guess maybe more like it not, I don't know how to change that to be more specific. It's like just very like
That's okay. It doesn't need to be.
based and like lovable. I think, well, we're self-love coaches, so it's obviously it's obviously like a like I'm not good enough to be loved kind of feeling.
Okay. Okay. So is that what you want to start with? I'm not good enough to be loved.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go through it. And this one's pretty straightforward. And I'm just going to ask, is it true? Is it true that you're not good enough to be loved?
Well, it feels true, but I know that it's not true.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. So then we'll just move on to the next one. And can you absolutely know that it's true? So even if 1,000 people told you that you're not good enough to be loved, can you absolutely know that it's true?
Well, absolute. I do know that it's not true, and I absolutely like I know that it feels true, but I absolutely know that it's not.
Okay. Okay. And that's okay. So just to explain, anytime you're doing number one or number two, obviously the point is to get to no, it's not true. However, it's not always that cut and dry. And sometimes we're like, no, this is fucking true. This is true. If you get to a point where you get to number one, you're like, yeah, it's true. If you get to number two and you're like, I feel like it's true, that's okay. Just go to number three and just start. How do you, so we'll just go into that. And that's okay if you still feel it. You just want to move on. Don't be hard on yourself because those are your beliefs. And you don't me saying your beliefs aren't true or aren't real is only going to make you latch onto them harder and your subconscious latch onto them harder and like, no, this is what I know. This is what I know to be true. So
Mhm.
don't be hard on yourself. Just, okay, like, yeah, it feels kind of true to me. Move on to number three. And this one is really important because it really can get you to like, oh, okay. So, how do you react when you believe that thought? What do
I
you say?
hmm, I I react by either like hiding or pushing people away. Kind of like you know, to make it true. Like of course you don't love me,
Okay,
I'm an
okay.
asshole to you.
Okay. And how do you treat yourself?
Um, well, I mean, I guess I like play the story like over and over, like all the things of like why somebody wouldn't love me or how they
Mhm,
haven't
mhm.
or not or how I'm not good enough or I'm not these things. Like it goes more towards the negative.
Okay, okay. And how does that make you feel?
Just reinforces that belief that it's true.
Okay, so it's like a cycle of like
Yeah.
you're feeling that and then you act this certain way and then you're like, "Oh, see?"
Yep.
Okay, okay. And then once you complete that one, then you can go into number 4, and this is who or what would you be without the thought? So just imagine that you have a magic wand and you can totally remove this belief from your awareness completely. Who or what would you be without it?
I think I would be mm, I wouldn't I wouldn't push people away and have that like toxic cycle and would be more at ease with myself, maybe even like see all the reasons I am lovable and who does love me and all the good things I am. So like not to reinforce that story and like what is it called? Like self-proclaimed prophecy,
Oh,
self-fulfilling
right.
prophecy.
Self,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Be nice.
And what else? Like, what else? What would you feel inside yourself if you didn't have that thought or that belief anymore?
More probably like carefree and grounded and yeah, just like confident and stable.
Okay. How would your life be different?
Um, I think my mind would be more at ease. I don't think my life would necessarily be different. Maybe I would be um more motivated in certain areas, but I mean externally, I feel like I really like my life. It's more like internally what I battle against those thoughts.
That's understandable. That's 90% of it, right? Okay. Okay, so those are the 4 questions, and she also does another part where she adds in a turnaround, and that is basically where you take the belief and you turn it around 180 degrees. So the initial belief was, "I'm not good enough for love." Is that right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, so you would turn it around to, "I am good enough for self-love?
Hmm.
Okay, so let's go to the next one.
Okay. Um, if I'm my true self, I will be abandoned.
Okay, so is that true?
No, it's not true, but I know where this comes from. I
Okay.
mean, it's obviously like an abandonment wound, but like I
Mhm.
mean, knowing that it's not really a me thing, it's like it's just something that I've made to be about me. Like, when you're abandoned, it's like it's not about you, it's about somebody else's shit. But um
Mhm.
yeah, I'm just like I think it stays with me in if I'm not like the funny, happy, giggly person, then nobody wants to be around that. Sorry, I'm
Okay,
typing on my computer.
you're okay.
So, I think that if I'm my true self, which is like setting boundaries and like not always so happy and bubbly and fun. Like if I was just like
Mhm.
having a moment like that would be like, oh, that you're not fun to be around. And like I guess that's something that I doesn't feel good to me.
Okay, okay.
So
So
it does feel very true.
does it, let me think about this because I'm wondering if, okay, let's go forward with it. And so can you absolutely know that it's true?
Um, I I guess I kind of do, and it's kind of more like of an acceptance thing. Like, you're gonna lose people who don't like all of you, and that's so like it's more like it is true, and that's also okay.
Okay, okay. Is it true that you'll be abandoned if you be your true self?
Um, I guess I guess I feel like it is like
Mhm.
not my like my shadow self,
Okay, that's
like
part of you. That's part of
yeah,
you.
the parts of me that I don't necessarily show people.
Mhm.
Not saying that that's all of me, but like if I do show the parts that I don't like to or other people don't like,
Mhm.
then I feel like that would be not accepted.
Okay. And I'm curious, does it feel, and I hope like this is okay that I'm just like, we're just going into this. I hope that that's totally okay. If not, just tell me we can stop.
Yeah.
But in your mind, does it feel the same, someone abandoning you and someone like not really feeling your shadow self or not really feeling all of you? And they're like, oh, well, now you're showing this part of you. And do those two things feel the same?
Yes, they feel the same. They feel like
Okay.
they feel like that is why they're in my shadow. Like they are rejected and I feel rejected and I feel like I'm going to be abandoned. So
Mhm.
they get
Okay.
banished to the shadow.
Okay. So, and this is, you definitely don't have to do this, but I'm just curious. In your mind, can you recognize that someone abandoning you is very different than someone saying, that's not really my speed. I'm good. I don't want any of that positivity or that negativity or whatever. Can you recognize that those are two separate, they're not the same?
I
And
can
if not,
recognize
that's
it, but
okay.
it doesn't feel the same. It feels like I can recognize that somebody not liking something you're saying or doing, but still loving you.
Mhm.
um like I can see the discernment in that, but I definitely in my body, in my mind, it feels like the same. It feels
Okay.
like a full like I'm not good enough, rejection, abandonment, like I'm a piece of shit, like feeling.
Right.
Even if
Right.
it's just like I'm having like a bad day and somebody's like, I don't want to be around this. Like it feels like
Right.
not, I'm not good.
Okay. Okay. All right. So let's go on to number three. And how do you react when you believe that thought?
I I tend to leave. I tend to run away. Like if I tend
Okay.
to like push people away before they leave me, or I leave before being like left kind of thing. And that's with like
Okay.
anybody really.
Okay. How how does that make you feel when you act that way or when you experience that?
I feel like it's a safety for me, and I feel like I need to, obviously I'm something like I need to go like take care of myself, but I also know that it's kind of a cycle and like it's like an old habit that I'm like, well, why like I could see like my higher self being like, you can like talk this through instead of leaving, or speak your truth instead of leaving,
Mhm.
or like always like know like you're even if it's like feels like abandonment, like you can not abandon yourself. Like I think, I have both of those thoughts. Like I guess it's more like your little like inner child like just leave, I'm done with everybody. So
Right,
how
right.
I react, but then I can go through like feeling it in my body, and then like if I am in a very like aligned place, I will be like, hey, like let's like communicate about this because I'm feeling like triggered, and like I don't want to feel like I'm also having a bad day, like, or I'm also like feel passionate about speaking, like about whatever, like I guess a very like surface level example would be like a difference of like my belief spiritually and my mom's belief in Christianity, and like how sometimes they like we'll both get triggered, and I'll be like, if I say how I feel, she's not going to accept me or love me. Like this is so like just like shout like surface level of the depths, but like
Mhm,
I won't even speak what I say because of that like fear of abandonment. And
mhm,
if she like, pushes too hard, I might like leave because I feel like I'm not allowed to have my own like beliefs and or say in something, or it's like bad. So I do leave, or I try to talk about it in a way that's like as calm as I can be, but sometimes I just want to like rage, and I'm like, oh, that's not going to be accepted. Like I want to like my like anger wants to come out and be like, well, that's you and this is me, and like accept me, but that doesn't always come out because it's like, you know, abandonment.
Right, right, right. So who would you be if you didn't have that thought?
I feel like I would be very confident in not feeling like knowing like the inner knowing like they're not going to abandon you or reject you, and it's still very safe to say how you feel even if somebody
Mhm,
else doesn't like it, and even if I'm still changing my own like thoughts. Like I might feel this way today, and I might change tomorrow, and that's okay too. Like I think I would just be like way more confident, and even when there's like judgment being thrown around, I would be like, that's a you thing.
mhm, mhm. So what can you see a reason to, and I don't want you to feel like I'm asking you to let this go, but can you see a reason to let this belief go?
Yeah, definitely. Like I want to. It's definite. a desire to let it go.
Mhm.
Um, and it's easy, like, in a safe space like this, or like when I'm feeling like I really truly know who I am, I'm grounded in myself. But in those moments where it's like, um, maybe a different environment, or, multiple people with different beliefs, and like, um, in a place like maybe like an old like environment we grew up in, and it's like so much more shakable in those moments where it's like, yeah, I would love to continue building this confidence, and I know it would be for my greatest good. Um,
Mhm.
just in those moments, sometimes it's like still there, but I definitely would love to be that person.
You'll get there. You'll get there. It's a process. It's a process of stripping away, identifying it. Like I said before, the fact that you even recognize it shows that you are coming out of it. And there's this uncomfortable, weird space of like, I'm uncomfortable. I don't know how to change it, but this is a problem and I'm working on getting the solution. And it's just an uncomfortable space.
The in between.
Okay. Yeah, it's actually the term for it, which I learned a couple months ago. That book that I sent you,
Mhm.
You Are a Goddess. She talks about that space, and it's called the subliminal space, liminal. I always call it subliminal, the liminal space, and it's basically the point between your old life and your new life, and it's like this. Just you feel like you're like suspended and everything is up in the air and it's just really weird and uncomfortable and you're not going forward, you're not going backwards, you're just in that transition. And I was like, I feel so seen when she read that.
Yeah, I definitely relate to that. I feel like I've been in the in between for a minute.
Sometimes you just are. I mean, it that book really helped me and know that there is light on the other side. I promise. You're doing a great job. Okay, so do you feel comfortable doing your other beliefs?
Um, yeah, I'm not worthy of a healthy relationship.
Okay.
I know that this is not true.
Hmm.
I think that there are a lot of like proof in it being true, but again, I think I have the same like reaction. Like I tend to run away or sabotage. Like those are my things. Those are
Right,
the things
right.
that I'll like and it's very much like a something that I'm like definitely ready to change because I really want to call in like my healthy partner. And
Hmm.
um I don't know, again, it's just like so much fear of abandonment and rejection. They're all connected.
That's
Um,
totally understandable. So can you absolutely know that that's true?
um, it is not true.
Okay.
It isn't true because I know like I've changed a lot. So like I know that I am worthy of it. I know that I am capable of it.
Mhm.
It's just, you know, stop pushing
Yeah.
people away.
How do you react when you believe that you're not worthy of healthy relationships?
I think that I will attract a certain type of partner that is also like I've noticed like the partners are also like mirroring certain things back, like not very emotionally like committed and open. And I feel like that's because I am very much like kind of actually scared of being like vulnerable and like so connected. So I know that that's
Mhm.
like something that I tend to like find attractive because that's definitely like safe. Like, and then again, it like it fulfills that prophecy of like, you're gonna leave me because I've already like I picked you on purpose. Um, so I think that yeah, my reaction is more like, see, I knew it kind of thing.
Okay.
And I will maybe like even like pick fights or stay in relationships for a long time that I know are not serving me or not my ideal partner. Like definitely like we'll just like hang out for an extended period of time and I'm like, I know I don't want to be with you. I just this feels safe, you know?
Right, right. So how do you treat yourself when you believe that thought?
Um, I don't know. Think I guess it's not very like self-loving because I know if it's not serving me and I'm still there, it's just like not at my fullest potential. It's not expanding me. It's not my truest desire because
Hmm.
I want like a relationship that's gonna be like have these kind of conversations and
Hmm.
like almost like call me on my shit. Like, hey, I think you're projecting. But like nobody I date even knows what that means. They're just like, let's talk about movies all day. And I'm like, this is this is easy because you don't know anything I'm going through.
Right, right. So how does it make you feel when you believe that you're not worthy of healthy relationships?
Makes me feel um I don't know, like I don't know how it makes me feel. I know what I do, but I mean, I guess like oh, I'll just be like alone.
Okay. So do you, so I want you to like go there. Think of in your mind that point when you're like, I'm not worthy of a healthy relationship. Where what comes up for you? What feelings come up for you?
Probably just that I'll be like alone. That it's like if I end up alone, that's okay. And
Okay.
and it's better than being abandoned.
Oh, okay. 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 All right. So who would you be without, if we could just get rid of that belief, who would you be?
Um, I don't know. I guess I would be not so scared. Um, I mean, I feel like the answer to all these is like if I didn't have this, I would be like free and I would be like carefree and confident. Like those are all of these, like that's who I would be. I'd be super
Hmm.
carefree, I'd be super confident, and I would know like it's on its way.
Hmm. Yeah, that's, I mean, usually, if we don't, if you think about all of the things that you want, that you consciously want, and that valley between what you consciously want and you, it it's filled with your limiting beliefs. So if you don't have those limiting beliefs, you automatically get, I mean, it sounds to me like you really want to be confident and stand in your truth, be yourself. So yeah, that seems like, the answer to number 4 is always going to be for you that. And that's okay. That's totally, that's just specific to you. So let's go on. And the reason why I'm going to each one of these is because eventually, like I said before, eventually you will fall into that like a shitty belief or a don't like situation is going to come up and you're going to be like, wait. I know this isn't true. And that might already happen to you. Like you might already like have that initial thought of like, is it true? And then all of the instances of how this is true flood your mind. So you can't really move on to number two, number three, number four, or maybe you didn't know about it. But we're gonna go, I want to go to your next limiting belief and go there because we have 15 more minutes and I have a little bit more that I wanted to talk to you about. But let's do your next one. What was your the last one that you did?
Something's wrong with me if I show all of me.
Okay.
I feel like that's kind of the same as like, I mean, I guess it's kind of the same as the other ones, but yeah, just like the extremes, like I feel like we kind of talked about like not being good enough to be loved.
Mhm. Okay. So if you have those ups and downs, those extremes, is it true that you're not good enough or that it's you what was it? You're not good enough if you have
Well,
those extremes?
I mean, I don't think it's true. I just think that's
Okay.
just, I'm not a chill girl.
That's okay. That's perfectly fine. So let me ask you, and yes or no, can you absolutely know that that belief is true? If you are yourself, you have those ups and downs that you're not worthy or you're not lovable.
No, I don't think it is absolutely
Okay.
true.
Okay. So how do you react when you believe that you're not, it's not okay for you to be who you are?
I hide parts of me,
Okay.
or I hide myself. Like I go into hermit mode for a while until I come on the other side of the like low moments, and then I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm back.
Okay. How does it make you feel when you feel like you have to hide yourself?
I feel lonely. Like that feels lonely, but I don't want to be a burden.
Okay. So what, who or what would you be if you didn't have, if you don't believe that, like that you're this burden when you have your highs and lows?
Um, I think I would probably stay connected instead of like going into like pushing like keeping myself like alone in those moments. I would stay
Mhm.
connected and be like more just like accepting and just let it like flow through me instead of like resisting it or saying like labeling it, judging it.
What would that do for you if you were able to stay connected and felt safe staying connected during those times?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I think I would be able to help more people too, like to know that it's okay. But I think you're right. Like it doesn't feel safe to show those signs. Obviously, that's
Okay.
not like something that people are like, oh, like you're sad. Like, I mean, people do want to help people when they're sad, but it's like it becomes like this like thing of like, oh, this is always like a thing with you. Like it's like
Okay.
you're not allowed to be sad too much, I guess, or like have those like moments too much. Or now it's like you like other people really think like something's wrong, even though it's like it's truly just like an emotion like passing. Like why can't it just
Hmm.
be that? So I think it would be um, part of even like helping other people through that. Like this is an emotion that
Absolutely.
you're allowed to feel.
Yeah. So is it true that it's not safe for you to be sad and be seen?
I think it's true that it's not safe around certain people.
Okay. But is it true? Is it absolutely true?
No. I mean, I don't, no, I don't think so. It's not true.
Okay. So, can you see a reason? And I'm not asking you to let it go, but can you see a reason to drop that thought?
Yes.
All right. So, that is the work. That's the four questions. And I okay, so how do you feel about your limiting beliefs now that we went through those? Like how if it hasn't changed at all, that's okay. Your subconscious is working under there. So
Mm.
something's happening, I promise.
I mean, yeah, it feels good. Feels
Does it
good.
feel like it's changed at all or shifted a little bit?
Yeah, it does. I feel like it hasn't got like, when you do limiting beliefs and then you get to a point where they're just like laughable. It
Hmm.
doesn't feel like that, but it just feels like, oh, this is like I am my safe space. So like
Okay.
these things are like it really is okay to not put so much of your power in other people. Like you get to be safe
Hmm.
time.
Absolutely. Okay. So let me bring this back real quick. So the soul work for today is going to be filling out the rest of this form.
Hmm.
And so we did the limiting beliefs. You can add to it whatever, if like whenever we get off the call, if you're like, oh, this, add to it. And then also events. So disturbing events that have happened or that have shaped you and in a way that maybe wasn't great. It doesn't have to be like uh the most terrible thing ever. Obviously, those things you can put on there too, but it can even be something as not as traumatic, like the little tease is like just
Hmm.
being kind of made fun of or something like that. So all the events that feel prominent to you, and then your emotions, the emotions that you feel on negative emotions that come up for you regularly, and then the symptoms.
Okay.
Okay. And then tomorrow we'll go over it if you have questions or whatever. And then we're going to do tapping and I'll explain how you're going to, like, when you leave the masterclass, how you can use this. Like I said, this is going to be your map back to total self acceptance. And this combined with tapping is incredible. It's like you can do a complete turnaround in just a couple of months by using this and tapping. So I'm really excited to share the second piece with you. So do that and then yeah, that's all. So I'll send the link to you for this because I don't know, it's going to go away in the chat.
Okay.
So
I
I'll
clicked
send it
it,
to
so I
you.
have it open in Canva.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect. All right. And then for anybody who's watching the replay, I will post the replay in the group as well as the map back to total self acceptance. Thank you for coming. Do you have any questions or anything?
No, that was really good. I think I always get to like, is it true? And then I gaslight myself and I'm like, it's not true. But I mean, it's nice going deeper into like the other questions, like how do you react? Because I think that's like the part where we self-sabotage. And um, I mean, I get like pretty bad anxiety sometimes, which is just like your body telling you like what something's off. So, and then just like
Absolutely.
even seeing a visual in my head of like who I would be without those thoughts, that's like really nice to go all the way through the questions.
Awesome. Good. I'm glad that because I'm here for that. Like that is I totally get it. It was definitely, like I said before, it's like a sticking point for me where, and I would gaslight myself, like, oh, yeah, no, it's not true. Like, I know it's not true, but like, and then my brain would just go off into the whole, like, all of the examples of how it's true. So I totally get that. And that's why I really wanted to, because tapping's powerful, but they're always, our subconscious is such a major part of like 90% of all the thoughts that we have. We're we want to say that we have control, but it's changing those limiting beliefs that's really going to make the massive shifts in your life. I mean, you can only do so much surface level mindset work before you're like, you just feel like you're gaslighting yourself. So I'm really excited to share that with you. And thank you for coming. It was really nice just sharing with you.
Yeah, thanks, Claire. I got my own private session.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. And then we'll do some tapping tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.